Hi there, everyone. This is Sharon for another conscious sharing moment. And so remember to like and share. Remember to turn on your notification. Remember to subscribe because, again, with these conscious sharing moments, in that they do not come at a specific time because when life happens, life has no time clock, has no clock, has say, oh, this event is going to happen at this time. And so when you set yourself up to embrace the moment in whatever it is, believe me, I just say it just allows you to move through life a little bit with ease. Not saying it would be easy, but just at least a little bit. And so let's move on. Let's move on. And so today, what we're going to talk about is plan your future, planning your future. Okay, you know that with self care, there's four pillars. The four pillars of self care is self awareness. It's not just in knowing yourself. Self awareness is, I need to be planning for my future. That's the self awareness piece. The sitting in silence is sitting in silence so you can ask yourself certain questions so that you can get downloads, so you can get answers about your future. Or sometimes sitting in silence is visualizing, planning your future of how you want to be, where you want to go, how much money you want to make, and how to get there. And not exactly the how, but just more so. We always say, don't worry about the how. The deep rest is to rejuvenate your body so that you can be ready to take on whatever it is that life has for you. Because you can do all the planning that you want, but you never know what the outcome is going to be. Even with all the best, you want a certain outcome, but it doesn't mean it's going to be that. So the deep rest is allowing you, and and I want to say, like most of the time when I talk about deep rest, I am talking about resting your body. Pretty much like when it comes to restorative yoga, when it comes to even meditation, could be a form of deep rest as well. And I really believe that that is so important, mainly because with our society, we're always on the go, go, go. And if we're never able to sit down, I always say, don't sit down too long. Because then you could be training your body and your mind for something else. But you need to be able, is should I say, it's really important to rejuvenate, to restore, to rest. And at least and look at it in restoring, rejuvenating, and recalibrating. You could take the word rest out if that's something like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. And so the last part is, in which we're going to talk a little bit more about, is action and movement. And so again, the four pillars of self-care is self-awareness, sitting in silence, deep rest, and action and movement. Because you can do all the planning that you want. Oh, I want this, I want that. But if you are not, like when you get the download, when you get the plan, what actions are you putting in place? How are you moving? Because of the fact sometimes, like some of us, including me, there's certain parts of my life I had no plan for. I was just living. It's okay to be in the moment, but it's also a good idea to have a vision, because I can't remember who said it, but it's more so to the fact it's like, if you don't plan your future will, life will dictate it for you. And that is so true. And so let's talk about, let's say, two important things when it comes to life. Again, self care is about planning, self care is about that self awareness. So having the awareness that you need to do something when it comes to your life and how you want to live. Because, like I said, even when it comes to me, there are certain parts that I didn't plan for. And because of that, it's like, oh my, what am I going to do? When it comes to certain things. And so it's really important for you to put in place even when it comes to self-care, plan for self-care. Plan to put it on your calendar. And when I say self-care, that can mean, again, put it in your calendar. I don't know, you can see this because sometimes you can't see it. Put it on your calendar. Plan to sit in silence. Plan to take action. If you say that you are, like for people who are entrepreneurs, if you say you're going to make 10 telephone calls or you're going to visit 10 things, go ahead and put it on your calendar and do that. The other thing when it comes to planning, again, when it comes to self-care, do you know what you need? Or you may have an idea. It's okay, I need to really plan this out. How is this going to really benefit? This is where a self-care consultation comes into place. And this is one of those things that I offer as well, self-care consultations, because we never sit down to say, what do I need? Because we're a lot of times, a lot of us, men and women, are out there pouring and giving to others. That is good, except pour and give to yourself too. The other part of the self-awareness is when it comes to the financial piece. We say health is wealth. How about health and wealth? We really need to, and this is where I have fallen short. Like I knew years ago that I need to at least come up with a plan, sit down, get back on track. Because when we do not plan and figure out how we're going to leave a legacy, have a legacy, build a legacy, it's not just about building, it's having. You experiencing the benefits too, not just your loved ones. And so, what are you actively doing to make sure things are in place? We have, at least I have, but a lot of times we don't talk about money. At least let's talk about how you can make money. It's not just about the job, because for those of you who have listened to other individuals, the main thing I hear people say, what does the rich do? They invest in themselves. They do self-development. But also they learn about money. They learn how to make money. They learn how to protect their money. And so what are you doing about that? We need to make sure that we are doing the things to truly protect the family, to truly protect you. Again, I hear people say they will go to the moon and back for their family, for their children. Are you going, if you're not going to the moon and back for yourself, then to be honest, it's not going to benefit your family, because they would end up having to take care of you. But you can set things up where you are taking care of yourself because of the benefits that you have set up. So with self-care consultation, that can help you look to see where you need to go, where you need to put in place, what do you need to start doing? And then with a financial consultation, it allows you to plan, to make sure that things are in place. Because people say, oh, well, I have, health insurance, life insurance. But is it the right life insurance for you and your family? If you have a business, is your business protected? Oh, yeah, liability insurance. So self-care is inside so you can impact the outside, the external environment. But self-care is about doing, taking action. Anything can happen. Something could have happened yesterday that you may not even know that impacts today, meaning like heart attack. So therefore, what are you doing to prevent heart attack? And if, unfortunately, it happens, what did you have in place to truly protect your family? Because when it comes to, death benefits, okay, that's covered. But what about life? So self-care is about taking action, being preventive of not allowing your family to go through things. So plan for your future today. Plan for your future today. It's about taking action, moving on it so that you can live the life that you want to live, so that you will not always be wherever you are because you're like, oh, I want to be further up. Or you may not have even thought about, again, there are certain aspects of my life I didn't even think about. Like now I'm thinking about them, like, oh, wow. But one thing I will say, I wish I would have had even 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10, 20, 15 years ago, because I would have had certain information. Oh my, would have been set, but it's never too late. It's never too late. And so put things in place so that your future will thank you. And that means looking at yourself is no shame. It's not a shame thing. It is just that it's conversations we don't have. We're always talking about uncomfortable conversations. Let's just have the conversations about being healthy and being wealthy. And we're not just talking about the wealthy of our personality and of having good character, but truly being wealthy and having the things that you want to have, of living where you want to live, of purchasing the things, not overdoing it, but really like truly being in a safe neighborhood, truly being able to help family members to start their own business. Are you set up for that? Or if there's an emergency, to be able to help yourself or to be able to help family and friends during a financial emergency, because it happens. People lose their jobs. People get into accidents, and any other thing can happen. And so, how are you planning your future? It starts now, it starts today. And so, make sure you either put out in the comments of any questions that you have. Definitely DM me for further information. Go ahead and go to my calendar so that you can set up a time for your self-care consultation or for your financial consultation or just to learn more. Definitely learning more, especially about the financial piece, because when it comes to finances, if we don't talk about it, if we don't look at it, we will still be stuck. Not only today, 10 days from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. And we say that generational curses and generational all this stuff stops with us. So that means we're putting in the work. Just think about our ancestors, what they went through so that we can have what we need to do, so that we can have what we have today and experience what we experience today. But also, we still got to put in the work. It never stopped with them. We are the ancestors. And so, what are we leaving behind? So, planning for your future, again, it's not just about planning, it's putting in action, doing the work. And so, again, thank you for listening to this conscious sharing moment about planning your future, making movement, taking action for yourself and for your family.